ancient city, built on water. But how did it even exist here? Imagine stepping onto a chain of small islands rising from the Pacific, where massive stone structures seem to float above the water. This is Nan Madol, a lost city that defies history. By the end of this journey, you will understand who may have lived here, how enormous stones were transported across water, and why the city was eventually abandoned. Located near Pohnpei, it spreads across nearly 100 artificial islets, connected by narrow canals forming a maze-like water city. First observed by 19th century explorers, its ruins reveal towering walls and ceremonial structures of a highly organized society. No written records remain, only local legends of extraordinary builders with near mythical strength. Here, at Nan Madol, every basalt block tells a story, crafted and placed with precision that still baffles engineers today. Even today, scientists debate how it was constructed, suggesting tidal techniques or wooden rafts, yet the scale of the basalt stones remains an unsolved mystery. Among the ruins, traces of homes, burial sites and canal systems are still visible. This raises questions about how such massive stones were moved without machinery, and why this remote location was chosen. The canals of Nan Madol were more than mere pathways. They formed a network linking life and ceremony across the water. The greatest mystery remains why the city was abandoned around 1600 AD. Modern research, including LiDAR scans and oral histories, continues to piece together its story, yet each answer creates new questions. Whether it was a ceremonial center, a political capital, or both remains uncertain. Walking through the ruins reveals the intelligence and planning of its creators, while eroded markings suggest a culture deeply connected to nature and spirituality. These platforms hint at rituals long forgotten, their silent presence echoing the grandeur of a society lost to time. Leaving Nan Madol as a silent reminder of human ambition and enduring mystery, Nan Madol's intricate canals were not just functional, they connected ceremonial, residential, and political zones across the artificial islets. Notice the worn steps carved directly from basalt. Each one tells a story of generations who moved across this city. Humans navigating the narrow pathways give a sense of scale, highlighting the enormity of the structures around them. Ceremonial platforms rise above the islets, suggesting a society deeply rooted in ritual and hierarchy. The precision of the stonework defies what we expect from a society without modern tools. From above, the alignment of the islets hints at planning on a scale far beyond simple habitation needs. Each basalt block, sometimes weighing several tons, raises questions about transportation and placement methods. The canals themselves appear engineered to manage tides and water levels, showing an advanced understanding of hydrology. Residential islets reveal foundations of homes, indicating that families once thrived in this remote city. As the sun dips, shadows emphasize the height and depth of the basalt walls, revealing a dramatic yet natural cityscape. Crossing these causeways, one can almost imagine the footsteps of ancient residents navigating their watery city. The city's layout is a puzzle, nearly 100 islets connected by canals, forming a labyrinth impossible to overlook from above. Erosion has softened the sharp edges, yet the precision of original construction remains evident even centuries later. From afar, Nan Madol appears serene, yet each shadow conceals the complexity and ambition of its builders. Standing here, you can imagine leaders or priests overseeing the city, perhaps coordinating ceremonies or daily life. Outer islets may have served strategic or ritual purposes, protecting or isolating specific areas within Nan Madol. Every step across the canals links one islet to another, revealing a network both functional and symbolic. Looking up at these towering walls, it becomes clear that the builders of Nan Madol possessed vision and engineering skills far ahead of their time. Each basalt column is precisely interlocked with the next, creating a structure that has remained stable for centuries. Researchers study the canal edges, uncovering clues about ancient water management and the movement of people and goods. The surrounding forest is slowly reclaiming the outer islets, hinting at the city's gradual abandonment and the passage of time. The foundations of ancient homes reveal a carefully planned layout, where ceremonial and residential areas were distinct, yet interconnected. Walking along moss-covered silent paths, the presence of a once thriving city can still be felt. Almost faded carvings suggest spiritual beliefs, though much of their meaning has been lost over time. At dawn, the canals reflect light in a way that reveals the precision of this engineered landscape, while ceremonial islets stand as reminders of leadership and ritual at the heart of society. The immense weight of the basalt stones continues to challenge conventional explanations of ancient transport methods. As evening shadows stretch across the ruins, the city's layout becomes even more dramatic and defined. The flow of water through the canals suggests both practical engineering and symbolic intent. Remote walls raise questions about whether they serve defensive purposes or ceremonial boundaries. From above, the interconnected islets form a vast labyrinth shaped by human design and ambition, and moving through these spaces, Nan Madol feels less like a ruin and more like a once living system built with purpose and precision. Even in partial ruin, the walls of Nan Madol reveal the precision with which each stone was placed, surviving centuries of storms. Moss and lichen cover the stones, yet the original craftsmanship remains visible in every carved edge and surface. Following the narrow canals, one can imagine the daily movement of people between homes and ceremonial spaces. Central islets rise as the core of the city, likely once home to rulers and religious leaders. Stone platforms suggest structured spaces for rituals and gatherings, reflecting a complex social order. From a distance, outer walls appear imposing, possibly serving both symbolic and protective roles. Hidden shafts and unusual stone formations continue to puzzle researchers about ancient construction methods. Small carved recesses hint at resting or lookout points integrated into the architecture. Walking through narrow passages, the careful connection between land and water becomes clear. Even empty corridors reflect precise alignment and advanced planning. Light filtering through openings reveals how structure and environment were designed together. Moving through interior spaces, pathways guide both movement and perspective with intentional design. Emerging into open air, the contrast between enclosed stone and natural landscape becomes striking. Nan Madol sits within Pohnpei's volcanic terrain, where natural islands and artificial islets blend into one continuous system. Even subtle details in the ground preserve traces of human presence and time. Beneath the waves, remnants of forgotten structures hint at how Nan Madol's builders transformed the very landscape. The city's design continues to reveal its complexity as water, stone, and landscape work together in harmony. From this vantage, the genius of Nan Madol's design unfolds, the unity of land, water, and human ingenuity. Even the outer islets face the open ocean, showing how Nan Madol balanced isolation with connectivity to Pohnpei. Each basalt column bears the scars of time, yet the precision of its placement hints at sophisticated engineering. Traversing crumbled paths, you can feel the weight of history and imagine the steps of those who lived here centuries ago. The network of canals weaves through the islets, designed for both transportation and water management, still visible today. Inside these ruins, remnants of ceremonial and residential spaces reflect layers of political and spiritual life. Climbing worn steps, there is a sense of deliberate design that once lifted certain figures above common spaces. Close inspection reveals subtle carvings, now mostly lost, suggesting meaning and symbolism embedded in stone. Central islets dominate the view, pointing to a structured hierarchy at the heart of the city. Modern researchers still study and measure these stones, trying to understand ancient tools and methods. Moss-covered platforms hold a quiet sense of time, where nature has softened, but not erased human design. Sunlight filtering into corridors creates shifting patterns that feel intentionally shaped by architecture. At canal edges, questions remain about how tides, transport, and water systems were managed without modern means. Stone steps descending into water hint at both ritual and practical use, blending daily life with belief. Misty mornings reveal Nan Madol almost floating above the Pacific, where mystery and reality overlap. Approaching the outer walls, the scale of construction becomes fully apparent, reflecting immense human ambition. Even broken columns carry the echo of design and the inevitability of decay. The surrounding landscape frames the city, showing how natural terrain and human construction were interwoven. Canal junctions reveal careful planning, forming a system of movement and distribution across the islets. Stone foundations hold silent evidence of labor beneath the surface, reminding us of effort now long gone. As darkness settles over Nan Madol, the mystery remains, a city lost in time, still echoing the ambition and imagination of its builders.